Hey UK Bills Mafia, this is Christian Wade of your Buffalo Bills. This is the Red, White, and Buffalo Blues, a UK Bills podcast with your hosts, Matt and Alex. Let's go, Buffalo! Woo!
And we're joined on the Red, White, and Buffalo Blues by Neil Blair of the Arrowheads Abroad. That's the UK Chiefs fan page. Neil, how you doing? Thank you for coming back on the show.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me back on. Appreciate it.
Are you wearing that jumper because you expect to go again, or because you know that your successes are in the past?
I'm just wearing it because that's what I put on today. There's no other ulterior motive there whatsoever.
No messages being sent.
This was here.
He's trying to predict the future.
Yeah.
No.
He's trying to predict the future already.
It's just a gentle reminder, lads. This is where you want to get
this
to.
beard hasn't been shaven since we've lost to Arizona. Every single game we've won.
I don't buy into that superstition. I've washed my jersey. I've shaved. So, it's up to the guys on the field. It doesn't matter what we do. So,
yes.
Yeah, no, true.
Neil, here we are again. Different circumstances compared to week 6.
Yeah,
obviously. So, I think the most pressing thing that I wanted to talk about is your last 6 games and point differential.
Yeah.
Only winning by 25 points. I mean, are you guys just chilling?
Yes.
Or so you really wouldn't say that there's something wrong. You're not like
no.
Really
of those games. Although we only won them by a score, the only one that was really close and you actually felt worried about was, funnily enough, the Carolina game. They gave us a real scare.
Mm.
But you look at the Tampa Bay game, we were comfortably had that in hand the whole way. Saints game, we had that comfortably in hand the whole way. Dolphins, we had it comfortably in hand. None of the rest of them you're particularly bothered about. The Chargers game, the last game of the season, hey, it was our third string against their first.
I'm not really even counting that. So,
but yeah, the other ones,
carry on.
Never really worried about them.
Well, not even the Cleveland one, where you had lost Mahomes after halfway through the third, but that one surely had a bit of doubt.
When Chad Henne threw the interception, I think it was about 8 minutes to go. And they got the ball 5 points down, and you're kind of thinking, well, they'd just been on an 18-play, 8-minute drive. If they do that again now, this could be serious trouble. If they scored a touchdown with a minute to go, do you fancy Chad Henne to run the field and score like a game-tying field goal or a game-winning touchdown?
Yeah.
No, there's the reason why he's a backup.
I was really, because I wanted Cleveland to win because I wanted that home game.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that second down screen that went nowhere, and then they're stuck doing nothing on third down. Cleveland really shot themselves in the foot there. They had an opportunity, man.
Yeah, Chris Jones wrecked those 2 plays.
Yeah,
you saw playoff Chris Jones playing there, where he steps up in the big occasion. We have a few defenders do that. Honey Badger, Terry Matthew, he's got a real knack for that. Frank Clark steps up in the playoffs. Chris Jones steps up in the playoffs. It's like they've had another gear that they just haven't bothered using all season. And now it's business end of the season, particularly those 3 defenders that really kind of raise the game, and it raises everybody else as well.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at your previous 6 to 8 games where you've only had a score on there, is there any worry? Because obviously with the Bills' last 8 games, there's a 10-point win, 10-point win, 11-point win, 29-point win, 30-point win, a 3-point win against the Colts, and a 14-point win against the Ravens. Is that something that you think of, obviously since the week 6 clash, that you're a bit more worried there's going to be a little bit more squeaky bum than you expected, and you had in week 6.
Well, if you remember when I was on with you guys before, I was a bit squeaky bum at the time. Like I was not massively confident at that time when we talked. It was going to be a road game on a Thursday, and I wasn't looking forward to that at all. And I actually had the Bills game pegged as one of our losses for the season. So to go and win that one in relatively comfortable fashion, I was happy with. You guys, certainly the back end of the season, were absolutely dominating teams. But having watched you 2 playoff games, you certainly didn't dominate those. You kind of dodged a bullet against the Colts, and the Ravens. You had a good attack against the Ravens, challenged Lamar Jackson to pass. Okay, he can't do it. Fine. You win the game. But I watched the first half of the Ravens-Bills game, and I really wished I'd gone to bed an hour and a half previously. It was painful.
Honesty counts. Honesty counts on that one. But
I can see where you're coming from. I mean, the Colts game and the Ravens game really don't put a lot of other teams, on their back foot. But is there anything about the defense and what they've been able to do against the Ravens? I mean, the Ravens coming in, everybody says they're hot. Pro Football Reference has them graded as the 3rd best offense in the AFC. Is a 75% Patrick Mahomes going to have trouble with a good defense?
It depends how you approach him. If you just outright blitz him, he'll beat you.
Yeah, for sure.
If you just drop back in, so the approach you guys took in the first game was to drop 2 safeties deep and say, right, if you want to run the ball, you can run the ball and you can beat us slowly. Okay, Clyde Edwards-Helaire rushes for 160 yards and will beat you slowly, and Mahomes throws for 220. That's one approach you can take. Tony Romo was interested in commentary on Sunday, saying he would stack the line of scrimmage, simulate pressure, and then just drop different people each time. And I think that's what you've got to do with Mahomes. Get 7 guys on the line of scrimmage, and then who's going to come out of that 7 and who's not going to come, and try and force him into making bad reads and bad decisions. 75% Mahomes with a concussion, you might be able to do that a few times, and then you have to take advantage of those times.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, since last 5 games, Chiefs turned the ball over at least once on there, and obviously 5 of the last 6 Mahomes interceptions have occurred after week 9 on there. Is that a case that you're thinking that the opposition is starting to home in a bit on Mahomes, or was it just a bit of there
was a lot of the two against Miami early on in the game? The people fell over. One his receiver fell over, and then the defender fell over, so he threw it and the defender got back up again. And then the third one in the Miami game was just an incredible interception by Howard. So to beat the Chiefs, you're going to have to force turnovers, and you're going to have to take points from those turnovers. But I don't think there's anything where you could say we're gonna fool Mahomes into throwing interceptions. He's very, very difficult to fool for any length of time.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, we had the game plan obviously in week 6 to hold Mahomes. Obviously, our run defense let us down badly. Luckily for us, that start.
But we didn't even stop Mahomes. But we didn't even stop Mahomes, though. He was like 80% passing, 2 touchdowns. I mean,
I know. I agree with that bit. But I mean, what he's did previously when he was throwing for 300, 400 yards a game, to keep him down that low. Okay, yes, it's because percentage completion was high in that game and all that. But what we done to limit the damage compared to other teams where he was throwing 3 or 4 touchdowns, throwing 350, 400 yards.
That sort of game. Have to though.
Again, you had Clyde Edwards-Helaire rush for 165 yards,
and that's what bothers me. I mean, you look at the Colts and how they came at us 50-50. If the Chiefs do that, they're much better than the Colts. I mean, I'm nervous. We haven't filmed our preview show yet, so I don't want to give out any suggestions about scores or anything, but I don't know. Neil, how are you feeling about the game?
If Mahomes plays, I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
If you take the same approach as you did in week 6, you will lose.
Of
Like-
course. I mean, like any team if any team repeats their losing effort,
Yeah.
you're gonna
But
lose.
it's not just the effort, it's the approach and the mindset. To beat
Yeah.
the Chiefs, you have to be aggressive in every single form of the game. You cannot be passive in any way, shape, or
Yeah.
form. So the playing 2 deep safeties and letting us run the ball, that's all well and good. But we're still going to score 28, 30 points. And now you've only got the ball for 20, 25 minutes, and you've
Yeah.
got to do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I keep
less
saying on
time
our
to do it.
podcast, you have to turn it into a shootout.
Mm.
The time of possession is irrelevant. You just need to score points. However you score them, however long it takes you to score them, doesn't matter. You just have to put up 30, 35 points plus.
Well, I mean, so do you think we can?
Yes, absolutely. Josh Allen, Diggs, yep, no problem. You can put up points. Yeah.
But I mean, so you talked about how your defensive players step up.
Yes.
Do you have matchups to stop all of our weapons?
No. Like our cornerbacks, our 2 outside cornerbacks, Breland and Ward, I would still say are questionable. They're not what you would want as your first 2 choice corners.
Okay.
Our linebackers are not great in coverage. If you can isolate them on a running back, if you've got a running back who can catch well, and you can get those guys isolated on the running back, then you've got a definite advantage there. So there's ways of creating chunk plays against the Chiefs, definitely. But you have to take advantage of the right matchups.
I mean, it is going to be interesting. It's obviously the top 2 pretty much offenses in their part, at least in passing and all that. They're sort of equal. I've seen on the on some of the league rankings for rushing, where they are about the same. Chiefs just a little bit more on there, and obviously better and similar sort of ranks for defense. So it's an evenly matched team, and I do believe that we can learn from our loss against the Chiefs in week 6 with that. I mean, I understood why they want to do it, just force the Chiefs to actually beat us with the run game, which they did very well. And up to that point, our run defense was shocking. But I think there is a way we've learned from that, and I think you're going to see a lot more confusion, a lot more what's the word? I can never think of the word. Not confusion.
You got me confused.
You get confused very easily when I talk, Alex.
Yeah.
Not confusion. No, it's going to come back to me.
This is riveting for people to watch right now.
Not confusion.
I know what I want to say. Can I just go?
Mr. Skies. That's the
Not
one.
a word.
Okay, disguise
Just
then.
disguise. Okay. Look, during that Christian Wade interview, okay, you guys buried me. All right. So I'm getting you back for that. All right. All right. Neil, if you want to take a minute, we interviewed Christian Wade, our UK player, and they went full British slang on me, and I just got embarrassed. So, if you want a good laugh, check that out. But right now, I want to get back at Matt for it. So.
So that section's staying in this interview then.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, it is.
Back to the matchup. So playing a team a second time, obviously your division, not very tough. But you did lose to the Raiders, and then your second game, it was close for a little bit.
Yeah.
Explain to me how you play teams a second time. Has it just been like all out domination, or is just your division that easy? I mean, obviously Andy Reid's the best coach in the division, but seeing a team a second time, is there worry that there's enough having been learned at this point?
I think as far as Denver were concerned, Denver just aren't very good.
Yeah.
So even 75% Chiefs would beat Denver with their eyes closed.
Yeah.
With the Chargers, Justin Herbert's going to be a very good quarterback in this league. And second time around, it was hard to say because our thirds against their firsts.
Yeah, that one doesn't really count. Yeah.
It's tough to draw a conclusion.
Yeah.
The Raiders took the approach that I think teams need to approach. They just went full on hammer and tongs, took chances, threw it downfield, took deep shots, but were able to run the ball as well with Josh Jacobs. Like he had a couple of decent games against us, and then they took like deep shots against us and tried to get kind of guys in behind our defense. In the first game, they were successful doing that, and they had like 3 passes over 30 yards that went for 2 touchdowns and 100 and something yards, and that was the difference in the game. And you have to be willing to take those shots, and you have to make them pay as well. Second time around, we defended a bit more conservatively. They didn't have those deep shots. They didn't get those big chunks of points, and they didn't have enough else to beat us.
Well, you can definitely say that Alan won't be afraid to actually to throw it long.
No.
We've seen that in loads of games, and obviously didn't connect very well last week. But that was more the wind, more than anything, more than accuracy. Before we get a load of people on Twitter saying, "Oh no, it's his accuracy, can't throw the long ball." It was the bloody wind on there. But give us
those passes. I don't care about the wind. How's the weather going to be?
I don't know, actually. I haven't seen.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You're not in Kansas City, so you...
No. I'm in Dublin. It's a long way from Kansas City.
Yeah. I've been asking
last year, I was there for the championship game last year, so I could have told you it was -17 and bloody cold last year.
Oh, my God.
So give us an update on Mahomes, and obviously what your interpretation of the Tyrann Mathieu tweet was earlier, where you had the angry face. That's got me a bit confused on that one. Obviously, why is he angry that he's playing, or he's practicing, or is it angry about something else?
Oh, sorry, not Mahomes. Terry Matthew's always angry. He lives in a state of anger. Mahomes was a full participant in practice today. Andy Reid said he took all the snaps, and they listed him as a full participant, and then they realized that because he's still in the concussion protocol, they're only allowed to list him as limited, and so they changed the injury report and brought him down to limited. But he took all the snaps, so I would fully expect him to play on Sunday. I don't see any circumstances where he doesn't.
Yeah. No, that's good. So, as I said, and what we're probably going to have a bit of argument about, especially me and Alex later on as well on there, that, and I think I did mention to you in when I was messaging beforehand that I'd rather beat a Kansas City team with Mahomes playing than a Kansas City team with Chad Henne leading the line. My reason is to be the best, you have to beat the best in there. And with Mahomes in there, the Chiefs are more of that complete team than is with Henne. That's my sense. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would take a win against a Henne-led Chiefs offense, but for me, it would be hollow. The fact that we hadn't placed Mahomes, we hadn't seen what Josh could do second time round, and obviously that comparison between it, and obviously how we lost week 6 and how we've actually improved against Mahomes in that offense. I'd rather face Mahomes than Henne.
We haven't been here in 27 years. There's no such thing as a hollow victory. Neil, if we had to play Matt Barkley, would you be upset about it?
No.
Okay. All right.
No, nobody cares how you get past the AFC Championship game. The only thing that matters is winning the Super Bowl, whether it's hollow or not. Nobody will remember in 5 years' time that you had to play Chad Henne. No one will care. They will just know that the Bills had won the Super Bowl this year. That would be the only thing that matters. And you wouldn't care on Super Bowl night. You wouldn't be sat there at the end of the Super Bowl going, well, we won it, but you know what? I wish we'd played Mahomes in the AFC Championship game. You know, it just doesn't feel the same. You'll be celebrating winning.
Okay, so I'm just googling now Hitman for Hire so we can take out Reed and Mahomes on there, right?
If you want to take out Reed, just buy him a cheeseburger. All right.
He's a cheap date.
I think the most important question about Andy Reid is how does his mask stay on?
Super glue, I guess.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I loved the visor. That was a hot look.
Yeah,
for
but
me.
that kept steaming up, so he had to
Yeah.
change from that.
Yeah. No, it was fun. I enjoyed that. Just trying to read the play and just thinking, I got to wipe it up,
Little
wipe
windshield
up, take it
wiper.
off, wipe it down,
Yeah.
and all that. No, it's good. I mean, the Chiefs, what your third straight AFC Championship game, was that right? Without reading,
Third straight home AFC
home,
Championship game.
which obviously was only been done by Andy Reid for the Eagles.
For the Eagles
So,
in the NFC, yeah. It's never been
yeah.
done in the AFC.
So you've got the consistency there, and as I say, it's going to make a really, really interesting game. I mean, you've got two well-led offenses with
Two
good
average
young
defenses.
quarterback on there, good wide receivers, Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman for the Chiefs, Sam Watkins when he actually does play, and then obviously Diggs, Brown, Beasley, and to a lesser extent Davis. I
And you
think.
never mentioned Travis Kelce there.
Oh, yeah,
who
no.
arguably
he's
is the most important player on the team.
Yeah,
I did say receivers. I forgot tight end in there as well.
I
But
mean,
then
what
again, I
he's
did
able to
mention
do,
Dawson.
he's a matchup nightmare. He scares me the most because I mean, if you have a safety and Trey take away Tyreek Hill, Milano alone probably can't do Kelce. But let's say we scheme up the perfect defense to take away Hill and Kelce. Is your secondary receiving core, we know Sammy Watkins, but he's hobbled always.
Yeah.
Can the other guys really do it? Or is Mahomes going to laser focus on Hill and Kelce?
They certainly will get the bulk of the targets. And then what's tended to happen is that we've manufactured ways to get the ball, particularly to Mecole Hardman. Watch out for the jet sweeps. Like he gets a lot of those and he can take them for yardage. And then watch out for us faking the jet sweep to him and then doing something else with it. Because once you're kind of keying on that, then Andy's a master. And like he had one on Sunday where they faked the jet sweep to Mecole Hardman and then threw a screen to him because everyone had gone, oh, hang on, he's not taking it. We'll back off. And then he was wide open. So just threw the screen to him anyway. And he picked up 15 or 20. I mean, he's quick. If you get the ball to him in the open field, he's going to be 10 yards downfield before you get to him. But he does have some dropped consistency worries. And then who the fourth receiver is could be DeMarcus Robinson. Personally, don't rate him at all. Byron Pringle has played really well in patches. He kind of seems to have been the one that has stepped in for Sammy Watkins and kind of become the big-bodied possession receiver kind of player. So if Watkins doesn't play, you'll see Pringle in there a reasonable amount, I think. But they will manufacture ways to get the ball to Hardman and hope he can get kind of 15, 20-yard chunks as he goes along.
Yeah. I mean, one other thing, obviously, we know Breland went out with concussion, was it, against the Browns?
Yeah.
If he can't go, do you feel confident with that secondary, assuming led by Charles Ward and all that? Are you feeling confident, obviously, with our aerial attack if you're missing Breland?
No, it's a quick answer. Well, it depends who then moves to outside cornerback because Breland missed the first 4 games of the season through suspension. And they had the rookie L'Jarius Sneed played outside cornerback, and he was brilliant. And then he got injured, but Breland came back at the same time Sneed got injured, so Breland just went back outside. And then when Sneed came back from injury, he's been playing inside, so he's been playing in the nickel, and he's been brilliant there as well. Now, will they move him back outside and put someone else in the nickel, or will they leave him in the nickel and put someone else outside? That will be an interesting thing to watch.
Yeah, Snead's quarterback rating, I think, in passes thrown against him is like in the 50s or 60s.
Yes.
So he's been really good in the slot, and that's Cole Beasley, hobbled or not. We're not sure. He didn't do much last week, so maybe that was just a rest week. But looking at staying on the defense, you blitz about the same amount as us, like 9th or 10th in the league, but you get more pressure. When you blitz an average amount, that means that it's game plan specific. What do you think your defense is going to do against Josh and these receivers? Is it going to be a pressure thing, or are they going to drop back? And is it more zone or man?
I would say it's going to be more man usually. It tends to be press man. And I suppose kind of what I would say what teams should do against Mahomes, he will crowd the line of scrimmage. Snead actually has been very good blitzing. He's got a real knack for it. He's got a sack in 2 or 3 of the last games. So watch out for him coming from the nickel. But apart from that, I mean, Chris Jones is just a monster in the middle, and like he will create problems in the center. Frank Clark on the outside on his day, although you could make a case he hasn't been great this season. Like certainly numerically sack wise, he hasn't had the effect that he's had in previous years, but he still played pretty well. He's got more to give. If if Jones can collapse the pocket from the middle, then I think that could be where we have success and where we create the pressures. And then the other guys are kind of mopping up because the opposition's quarterback's trying to get out of there because Chris Jones is sat in his lap. And then, I don't know, there's an undrafted free agent called Wharton on defensive line who's been quite impressive. 4th round pick Mike Dana's been quite impressive. Passignon actually hasn't been very impressive, and I think was a 2nd round pick a couple of years back. But the two rookies, kind of in situational play, have actually been pretty decent. But yeah, watch for Chris Jones collapsing the pocket, and then someone else kind of cleaning up. Chris Jones hasn't got the stats that his players deserved this season.
Yeah, and we've always said that, especially on the defensive line, the stats don't really matter, because we can take Star Lutulele last year, we take what Ed Oliver's done this year for us. Stats generally don't fit the play on that. One last thing before we end it, obviously get your prediction. Obviously, we know you're going to say a Chiefs win on there. I want to know, Eric Bieniemy, will he get a head coaching role? And I assume it's the Texans, I believe he's actually interviewed for. Are you wishing him to go, or are you wishing that he actually stays?
For his sake, I would love to see him get a job. For the Chiefs' sake, I would have no problem if he didn't.
Yeah.
And I certainly wouldn't. I wouldn't wish the Texans' job on anybody.
The tire fire of a organization.
Like there's no 1st round pick, there's no 2nd round pick.
And if they're going to trade Watson, who wants that job?
Yeah, absolutely. You've just paid 160 million to your quarterback, and now there's talk about trading him.
Yeah,
your defense is old, and slowing down rapidly. That it's a big rebuilding job coming on there.
Yeah. If you can guarantee me 3 or 4 years, then maybe I'll take it, so I can build my team. But yeah. Why are we talking about the Texans again?
I know. I was just talking about Bieniemy. I was talking about Bieniemy, and if he's worried about him getting a head coaching gig.
But I mean, I think that's the thing about an offensive coordinator. With Allen and Mahomes being young-ish, I think it kind of matters, the OC. I mean, Tom Brady can go anywhere. Aaron Rodgers can have any OC. For you, I think with Andy Reid being an offensive kind of coach, I think it doesn't matter who the OC is. Yeah. Whereas for us, with our head coach being a defensive guy, I think it does kind of matter a bit.
Well, our next offensive coordinator is already in the building. He's the quarterback's coach, Mike Kafka.
Yeah.
So they already have a succession plan ready for when Bieniemy leaves. It's just a question of when does Bieniemy leaves. And the other thing is, if Bieniemy does leave, with the new rules regarding race and hiring of coloured coaches,
you get a 3rd round this year and a 3rd round next year.
Couple of 3rd round picks. Don't mind if we do.
Yeah. That's why there was obviously talk with Frazier potentially being offered or interviewed by the Texans. That's that we would get obviously a third and 2/3 this year and next year. So it's a good incentive that the NFL are doing to try and promote obviously more minority
Yeah, I mean,
candidates.
these guys are qualified. It's ridiculous that you need to give incentive to do so. I don't understand that, but they're qualified guys. You should get the jobs. But let's let's see who you're gonna pick.
Drum roll.
Well, here, break it down for me though. Tell me why you're picking the score, and what you're expecting really though, in depth.
I'm expecting a shootout. So I'm expecting lots of points. It wouldn't surprise me if the last team with the ball wins the game. That would probably, to me, that would be the most likely. I think there's only one score in it. I'm going to go 35-31 Chiefs. And I think we just have that one extra stop where we make you kick a field goal rather than scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
Is kind of where I'm at. But
so you're not going to go what Mark Sessler actually predicted. It'll go into double overtime, 50, 59, 55 or something like that. I think he predicted.
I saw that.
On
that.
I would say that would be unlikely.
Yeah. Am I right in saying that your kicker has problems with extra points?
Yeah, he's missed a few. Yeah, and short field goals, which is essentially the same as an extra point. But get him 40 yards and beyond, and he's money. But
that's weird because I saw him kick that 50-yarder, and that was good from 65.
Yeah.
So I mean, is there a bit of a worry there with him and like the weather, or
you can't afford to leave easy points on the table in these kind of games.
Mm-hmm.
And if he were to miss a field goal and a couple of extra points, you're looking at 5 points there. And if I'm picking 35-31, suddenly we've lost the game 31-30.
Yeah.
So it could prove pivotal, but I would like to think I'd like to think it doesn't come down to him missing a couple of kicks. I would like to think
that would be
our offense in particular, because Andy Reid's going to give you his A game. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. Mm-hmm. There's going to be stuff that hasn't been seen all season that he's just been keeping in his pocket for this game. And I'd like to think that's enough to generate enough points that if Butker does miss some, it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
But again, if it came down to a 50-yard field goal to win the game and he's kicking, there's not many more I would rather have doing it.
Yeah. That's quite a headache of a kicker, that I would say. Yeah. So Andy Reid and Sean McDermott are close. You guys won last year. Just give it to us. All right. You're going to be back. You're going to be back. So
I think that being back there, or being there last year and being there the year before, will help us as well, because we've been there, we've done it, and we know what it takes. Mm-hmm. Whereas this is your first time around, and the pressure of knowing that the next game is the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
For us, we were there last year, so I don't want to say it doesn't matter if we don't get there, but we've won it. And it takes some of that pressure off.
Yeah.
Whereas for you guys, more of a just another long time,
guys.
Sorry?
It's more of a just another game for your guys.
Yes.
Than it is for ours.
Yeah, you've got the pressure of the Super Bowl is on the line. Whereas for us, we had that last year.
Yeah.
So we've kind of gone through the losing to the Patriots, and then the following year winning against the Texans. I think
we have losing to the Patriots. We have that.
I think this is your losing the AFC Championship game, and then you're back there next year, and then you've got a better shot at winning it. Probably against us again, to be perfectly honest.
So in that sense, we'll lose this week. We'll beat you next year.
It's you would have the experience then of having been there and done it and knowing what you need to do differently.
Well, we have you during the regular season as well, which could absolutely be like the first game of the season in Kansas City. If this game gets dirty or if something happens, then this is going to be like the beginning of a rivalry that should be crazy. I mean, the narrative is already there. Allen v. Mahomes, two young guys, 10 years of this, sign me up. But just give us this one, please. Like
if it was within my power, I'd consider it.
Oh, thanks. I'll take that. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, hold some to ransom. What's your most prized possession? We'll hold it to ransom.
We'd have to get it, and we're not allowed to go anywhere because of COVID. So
Yeah, snap.
yeah,
We'll find a way.
yeah.
Find a way. There's always
Neil's
a
like,
way.
stay away. What are you, crazy?
Yeah, you don't want to be in Ireland right now, that's for sure.
We'll probably get stuck customs for about 10 years. Actually, the whole law, the whole
Don't talk to me about
leaving
that.
EU stuff. It'll be
I
even
heard you
more
don't have
Alex.
jelly or gravy. I read
I'm not
that
sure
story.
that's entirely
in the
true now.
news.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it depends on I mean, are you talking like kind of Alabama style gravy, or are you talking about English Sunday roast style gravy?
I mean, yeah, I think it's the Sunday roast gravy. I don't know. I read this news article and I was like, this is weird, and I kind of stopped reading it, so I didn't get all of it. But apparently,
English Sunday roast gravy, yeah, we've got that here, no problem.
Yeah.
Alabama biscuits and gravy, no, we don't. No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, are you barbecuing this weekend at least?
I wouldn't rule out the possibility.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
okay.
rule out the back, so it's quite possible I will do.
All right then. Well, I'm already nervous, and this hasn't helped. So,
Yeah.
Matt, end the thing.
Oh, am I doing my thing? I'm confident. I'm confident. It's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be it's definitely gonna be a one-scoring game. It's gonna be a high-scoring game. But obviously, rule ahead with the Bills win. Neil, thank you very much for coming on the show, chatting
Thanks for having me on.
Chiefs, and helping break down this the Clash of Titans, we'll call it, the AFC Championship game, and we would say good luck. For
Good luck
Sunday,
next
but
year. Is what
yeah,
we'll say.
good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck trying to get to the Super Bowl next year because
Yeah.
we're taking it this year.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much
Thanks,
for coming
Neil.
on the show,
Cheers.
Neil.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.